Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have a special guest. She can say her name, what she does, all that jazz.
Hi, I'm Ali Slater. I'm a singer, songwriter, emo, pop rock musician.
There we go. Well, Ali, it's a pleasure having you on. I've been checking your stuff out all day, so, much love and much respect for you to come on the show and talk about your journey.
Of course, thanks for listening and having me.
There we go. Well, the first question, Ali, I have to ask, and I'm just curious on your just musical journey. How did you start out? Has music always been that thing for you that you've always wanted to get into? Just give me like the Ali anthology story.
Oh, all right, that's a long one. I'll try to speed it up.
You can keep it as long as you want. So
I've been musicking. I do noun verbs sometimes. I've been musicking since I was 4 years old, actually.
Wow.
I started learning piano when I was 4, totally by accident. I'll do quick stories. I saw my grandma taking a piano lesson, and I just said, that looks cool. I want to do that. So that's how I got into music. She is not a musician. She quickly gave up after that, but I kept I'm the only musician in my family.
Wow.
We don't know where it came from. So I played piano. I was singing. I started writing songs very poorly when I was 7 years old.
Fair enough. I mean, as you do at 7,
Yeah, but I sparked an interest at an
Sure.
early age for writing songs. Skip forward to high school because the rest of the years were pretty boring. I entered high school. I started music theory. I'm a big music theory nerd. I'm into it a little too much. I still study it to this day. And that's when I met kind of my music mentor. I started getting into the singing groups, but I was really writing pop songs. I hadn't been exposed to the rock community or the emo community. Yeah. Of course, I had heard like I Write Sins on Tragedies or Sugar We're Going
the classics.
The classics. Those were always there. Those were always on like MTV Hits or VH1 Top 20 Countdown, like things like that. So I had exposure to that, but I lived in a very sheltered area of Manhattan where it was like pop music and rap music and that's it. So I was writing pop music and I have an ear for it, but it just didn't feel right,
I got you, yeah.
And I love pop music. Like Lady Gaga is one of my idols. Like I grew up in New York City. I'm still in New York City, and that's another story. Love her. But I finally got into the rock community when I was in college after I had given up music. So I entered college.
Oh, okay.
I entered college fully intending on being a pop star and doing the thing. And I don't want to speak badly about my university because I don't like to shit talk, but they really did discourage me from pursuing music. I gave up and I was going to be a teacher. And I was a teacher and I love kids and I love teaching, but I gave up on music. Then my roommate, he took me to a festival down there and he's like, we're going to see Falling in Reverse. I'm like, what's that? And he introduced me to Black Veil Brides and I had my rock awakening. Like I listened to Black Veil Brides for the first time in this is so embarrassing. I'm so new to the community. 2017 was the first time I listened to Black Veil Brides.
All right.
And this whole story is embarrassing, but what was really embarrassing was I cried the first time listening to it.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is shit this is what I'm supposed to be writing. I understand now. Everything makes sense. I know what was missing in my life.
Oh my God.
And I went to the Falling in Reverse set, which was only 30 minutes, which is a crime.
Yes.
But I had my emo awakening in college. Became a teacher, loved that, couldn't sustain, living in New York City as a teacher. So I moved on to the corporate life, corporate skincare. Yeah. I'm still in corporate beauty, but once we hit the pandemic at the beginning of 2020 and, people started dying and a few close people to me passed away. I'm like, I can't be living my life so afraid of pursuing something that I love so much. Yeah, and I can't keep doing this corporate thing forever.
That's also facts.
I'm going to wish COVID took me out if I do this for the rest of my life. So I started officially pursuing music. I never stopped making music, but actually pursuing it, I started during the pandemic.
That's awesome.
And here we are.
And then we're here doing the interview.
2022, yeah.
That's awesome, Ali. Like, and kudos to you for like really sticking it out, because I feel like at any moment you could have just been like, yeah, I'm just gonna like, this is a moment in my past, I'm gonna just like let it be that, and then not pursue it any further. And I got to give you a lot of respect, because that's kind of how like I wanted to do this channel. Like, I was just like, I love talking to musicians, I love getting to know them and like learning about their stories and their journey and stuff. And so I gotta give you a lot of props on your journey, because I feel like it was going through some ups and downs, and
Oh,
now I feel like you're doing pretty well.
I
So
gave you the short version. So yeah, needless to say, there were tons of ups and downs. But I mean, I'm still going with it because I really did have that big wake up call in 2020. And at that point, I'm like, I've wasted so much of my life being so afraid
yeah,
to do this. So I don't have time to waste anymore. I gotta go
out there.
ahead.
You gotta forge ahead. I feel that.
Oh, yeah.
100%. And again, that's really cool, this story about how you like start out and your grandma was like, yeah, I'm gonna learn piano, and then just completely stopped, and you're like,
Well,
man,
our teacher kind of told her to stop.
that's terrible, but
I would never put that on like one of my students. Let's say they had zero musical ability. I think there's so much about music that's you don't have to be good at it to enjoy it or
fair
try
enough.
to do it. But it wasn't for her.
Yes. That is the most polite way I've heard that said. So I appreciate you for being gentle.
She loves listening to my music. She refrains from playing it herself.
Well, I don't want to get you in any more trouble with your grandmother, so we'll let that rock. But that was really cool, and it kind of touched on a point that I wanted to bring up about you have a feature on Over It with Jackie Vincent.
Yeah.
How was that moment from like seeing them play, and then obviously like working with Jackie? I feel like that's a very like full circle moment.
I have to look this up. I don't know if Jackie was still in the band when I saw that.
But you obviously knew he
But I
was
saw
in.
Falling in Reverse. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. It was such a cool moment. I had met him through a friend who was taking guitar lessons with him.
Oh,
and
very cool.
told me that Jackie was super into music theory. And I'm like,
I'm your girl.
I'm super into music theory. Can I take lessons with him? And he gave me his information. We started up lessons like September 2020, and we like once a week just hang out and talk music theory. And I'm attempting to take up guitar, but again, only 24 hours in the day. So Jackie and I are on pause with guitar. We'll pick it back up as soon as I have time, but we still meet like weekly to talk music theory.
Very cool.
And really helps me incorporate a lot of new stuff into my songwriting, which is the point of it. And he's just such a cool guy to talk to. So back when I was writing Over It, well, I had already finished writing Over It, but I didn't want to write a bridge for the song. I'm like, the song needs a guitar solo. I've said what I need to say. I don't need to say anymore. We need a guitar solo in this song. And I had the producer I was working with at the time, I had him like draft up a solo, and he's like, how about this one? I'm like,
that's not what I'm looking for. I got you.
We tried again, and I'm like, and he was really sweet. We weren't getting to where it needed to be. So I had a meeting with Jackie that week anyway. And I'm like, can we come up with something for the producer to play? Maybe like draft some ideas. And he's like, I can just do it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, you're going to be on my song. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Then you're like, ah!
He's the most like modest, down to earth guy. He's like, yeah, I'll just play on it. I'm like, okay, but like now that you're on it, your name's on it too, so I'm gonna run everything by you, and you have to. He's like, please, this is a guitar solo and it's your song. Just you gotta do.
Just do it.
I don't care. So we went through. I mean, just a story behind the process. We when he said he would do it, we just went through the melody of the song. He's like, oh, I love the melody you wrote here. I'm not really asking for too much, so you can hear it in the guitar solo.
I picked up on that. I'm a guitar player myself. I got the foresight. Yeah.
That motif. Let's build it on that. I'm like, I trust you. You do whatever you want.
You're like, just
for the compliment.
Please,
you do you. I trust you. And he came up with that. I'm like, I mean, it's Jackie Vincent.
Yeah.
It was pretty instant. He's like, how about this? I'm like, I'm not going to cry in front of you.
But it is beautiful.
Yeah, he nailed it,
Yeah.
obviously. Obviously, he nailed it. And yeah, it's pretty surreal, especially for like this is my first time releasing music, to have a name like that on my album and in a single. It's pretty great.
That's such a wild thing. Like, you
Yeah,
guys just were
I
just
love
talking
my
about music theory, and then he's like, yeah, let's do this like
yeah,
one-on-one thing, and then
so
he's like,
sweet.
man, what if I like featured on one of your songs? And you're like,
I was like
what?
planting the seeds and like make it his idea, make him think it was his idea.
It's the reverse psychology, you know. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't really think I need a guitar solo on this song. And
Can we
Jackie's
just come up with something maybe the producer can play and put on the track? I'll just do it.
That was some psychological, Olympics going on there. So kudos to you, Ali, for
Please,
making it work.
I'm not that manipulative.
But it does. I was very surprised about it, just as being like, again, like knowing about you and just kind of like obviously gathering a lot of information, over the time frame that I knew about doing this interview. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, it must have been such a cool, like, I was like, I have to ask a question about Jackie Vincent, just having him. So
10,000. I love talking about him.
yeah, same. He's great. Jackie, come on the channel. Would love to have you on. But next question, Ali. Kind of, I'm curious because like I had listened through to Kiss in the Rain, Over It. I was listening to Lucid just before we hopped on, and I'm curious in terms of who you were influenced by, like who got you started out. Like you said, you got that. I feel like you really got some strong pop roots, and then also like emo and alt kind of vibes going on. So I'm curious who really influenced you to start singing. If I am, if I think I'm in the wheelhouse,
Okay. So I take influence from everywhere. I mean, I could put myself in one genre, which is pop rock or like pop
sure.
emo, and I'd love to be in that category. But when I'm making music, I like to pull from a bunch of different places. So vocally, I take inspiration 100% from like Gaga, Ariana Grande, Haley Williams.
Oh, okay.
Christy Costanza.
Yeah.
Amy Lee, I think, is a goddess, but I don't take her tone. She uses kind of a darker tone voice, and I take the Kellen Quinn approach.
Yeah, you do.
The whiny female approach.
It's not whiny.
No, it's not whiny. It's not whiny.
It's not whiny.
It's not as dark. It's brighter tones.
Correct. I would give you that.
So that's where I take vocal inspiration. Oh, and JoJo.
Underrated. Okay.
Oh, I love her so much. I might do a cover of one of her songs. Make it kind of emo. That's top secret information. No, those are my vocal inspirations.
Sure. Yeah.
In terms of tracks, I take from Black Veil Brides. I'm this next album I'm working on, heavy inspiration from Falling in Reverse.
Sure. Yeah.
Lucid is actually, I'll tell you exactly what the reference songs for that were. There was a cover of Stay, the Justin Bieber, Kid Laroi. I forget their names. God, I'm so unprepared. Let me look it up.
It's all good.
Stay metal cover. What was it? By No Resolve.
Ooh, okay.
And a mixture of that and Silly Putty by Femme.
Oh, wow. All right.
Put it together because at the time I didn't write it that long ago. I think I wrote it in November, December. I was noticing kind of this trend in the industry where songs weren't lasting more than like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm like, is this the thing now? I spoke to my producer, Matt Squire, the legend.
The legend.
We can talk about that later. But I was like, is this something that's super popular in the industry right now? Because I struggle to keep a song under 4 minutes. I do some major editing. I just have so much to say. But I really wanted to challenge myself and write something that was kind of like that super up-tempo, kind of hyper pop, but also make it a lot heavier. And I saw Femme for the first time at a water park show in November.
Oh, very cool.
I didn't know who she was. But she came out on stage and I'm like, who is this girl? And she performed Silly Putty. It hadn't come out yet. I'm like, this is incredible. I kind of want to write something like this or use it as inspiration for
Yeah,
a
sure.
song. That's where Lucid came from. Sonically, of
Yes.
course. Lyrically, it has nothing to do with either of those songs. But that's a long-winded way of saying Falling in Reverse, Femme, Black Veil Brides, a little bit of Water Parks. Heavy Against the Current.
Oh, yes. I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I do agree with the Ariana Grande. I could notice like some melodicness that you take from Ari. So I was like, definitely Ariana Grande.
Mhm.
In some ways, you also, I'm probably gonna be aging myself a little bit, but you kind of have this like almost like Kelly Clarkson kind of like tone to
Ooh,
your voice, you know?
what a compliment. That's not aging yourself. Wait, am I aging myself?
Uh, I always joke that I can, as this channel gets older, I also age
Yeah.
significantly fast. But
As the years go by, we age.
yes, I know, but
How time works.
it feels more infinitely. It
I know.
feels compounded.
The
But
more I'm on TikTok, the more my age shows.
I should I should start making more TikToks. Honestly, that's my
Me too. I'm so. Anyways, Kelly Clark.
Kelly
huge,
Clarkson.
huge compliment. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Early Kelly, like Behind These Hazel Eyes.
Ooh, yes.
I love that song.
That's what I was feeling. The Kelly
I
Clarkson.
you know what? Good
Vibes.
call. Definitely. Behind These Hazel Eyes, Kelly. That's a good call.
Especially in like Kiss in the Rain, like especially like in the verses. I was like, she's doing her Kelly. I like that. I'm vibing, you know?
Thank you. That's a
So
compliment.
I would say that definitely like, kind of like I would say definitely Paramore. I mean, I know you did mention Haley Williams. Obviously, I feel like if you're not an emo stan unless you mention Haley.
Yeah.
Haley, I know you're single, so I'd love it.
Haley, I'm also single. I'm sure anyways.
But I feel like you kind of take, and even Gaga too. Like, I feel like you take like a really cool approach to like you have this like pop mentality, but also there's just like this strong emo like backbone to it, and I feel like you found that nice middle ground between like a pop star and like an emo like artist. So
I forgot one. One of my favorite musicians ever actually is Zed.
I would have never guessed that.
He's actually I study him because I mean, yeah, he's electronic. I had my electronic phase back in like 2013, 2014. Everyone had their emo phase. Like I went from electronic to emo, and
wow, all right.
I was one of those electronic kids. Went to festivals, did all that,
like EDC, all that stuff.
I was too young for that. Like
yeah.
I was in New York and whatever festivals were here, and I went to school in Louisiana and New Orleans. Whatever festivals were there, I went there. So I mean, the festivals would come to me.
Yes, all around alley.
So Zed, he is actually like a classical composer, started learning piano and drums when he was 4 years old. And his songs are just so brilliantly constructed. They don't stick to the regular 1-5-6-4 or 6-4-5-1, whatever the major chord progression is. He delves into just so many different facets of theory that are just so unexpected but work so well.
Yeah,
and
within that.
I love everything he does. That's like one of the main artists I work on with Jackie. I'm like, okay, this song, we need to analyze it now. Tell me what's happening. He's so brilliant, Jackie and Zed. So at least with my songwriting, I've been trying to branch out and use a bunch of Zed strategies.
Sure, yeah.
So, as a songwriter, I admire him so much.
He is immensely talented. Like, as not being a electronic stan. I've listened to my fair share of like electronic, like for sure. I'm a big lo-fi fan. That's what I've been really vibing with now. But yeah, like some of his arrangements, like it really impresses me that he's able to kind of like. I'm just curious how long he spends on a track where like he's working on it and like just kind of like workshopping it, like, and I would be curious.
I think he starts everything on piano. and then translates it. I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't know the guy, but I I just based on the structure of them and analyzing the chord progressions and the key changes he does. And also, a million years ago, he put out a piano cover of Spectrum that I actually learned because it was so gorgeous. There's no way he didn't start writing it on the piano.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. Anyone who's listening, watching, check out Zed's piano cover of Spectrum. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What a talented individual, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Respect talent, no matter where it comes from.
yeah, and I think like I wouldn't have never expected that, but now that you mention it, it's like, okay, I can kind of hear it in some of like the structural stuff of like, you doing what you do. And now it's gonna make me really rethink some of these songs now, because I'm gonna be like, you know what? Not in a bad way, in a great way. Just I think I'm just gonna be thinking about it with like a little bit more intent. Than I'm like, oh man, I really like that verse to chorus kind of structure. I feel like it's gonna put a little bit of a different perspective on it. So I don't know. I'm a music nerd, so I feel like we are one in the same, peas in the pod, So very cool. But next question, Ali, keeping it more current, what's on your Spotify? What do you listen on a daily, day-to-day basis?
Oh my goodness. Right now I'm living in my nostalgia playlist because shit sucks. The world is ending, so I'm going the country is crumbling, so I'm
I mean, I don't want to say you're not wrong, because you're definitely not wrong, but
so I'm like throwing it back to early 2000s music right now.
All right.
Pop and rock. Like, let me see, what was I most recently listening to? Oh, I went back onto my YouTube playlist, which is from a million years ago. I haven't even been on Spotify. I went back to my old YouTube playlist.
Wow. Really throwing it back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, back to like my electronic era. I was listening to some like Galantis.
Ooh, okay, yeah, all right.
Playlist. Oh, people do use like rock music as the gateway to dubstep. Like I use dubstep as my gateway to like screamo. I did the reverse.
What?
Yeah, I went from like Skrillex to, who's a good example, like Attack Attack.
Oh, you're speaking the language of love here, Ali. Attack Attack's one of my favorites.
Oh, so great. So obviously I hated college. Every time I would walk to class, I'd just put Smokahontas on repeat and just walk to class, and then walk home from class. Just Smokahontas on repeat.
Or AC 130.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, something that I've been like drilling because I have been drilling my vocals. I was sick for a while, and now I'm singing again, so I just pick songs that I need to drill my vocals for.
Yeah.
Too Little Too Late, JoJo, the 2018 version. There was a performance Tori Kelly did in 2015 at the VMAs, I'm pretty sure. I can't find it anywhere, the actual video of the performance, but there's still audio, and she does a crazy amount of cool riffs and runs. So I've been drilling those a lot. So the Tori Kelly Should Have Been Us VMA 2015 performance.
Big love for Tori Kelly.
So incredible vocalist. So good. In terms of like rock music, let's go to my emo playlist.
There we go.
Circle With Me, Spirit Box.
Oh, Courtney.
What a badass.
She's fantastic.
Fantastic. Some Water Parks.
Nice. Got it.
Oh, Arrows in Action. They're great.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Love them. I almost worked with their producer, Dan. What a sweetheart. He's doing such a good job with them, and he's touring with All Time Low.
Can't ask for more.
Yeah. And Falling in Reverse. I am actually using Zombified as a reference song for one of the new songs on my next album.
Oh, wow. All right.
We're getting a little heavier.
Okay.
Yeah. I could keep going if you wanted me to.
I mean, however much you want to give me, that's...
I feel like I'm doing promo for bands right now. Or me. I've been listening a lot to Lucid by Ali Slater, actually.
Yes, I would highly recommend checking that one out.
Yeah, me too. She's kind of cool. She writes some good
She's
songs.
solid. She's solid. Yeah.
A little like Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
JoJo, Haley Williams, just
Yeah.
all of
Little vibes there.
them.
I do like that you mentioned Tori Kelly as being a Tori Kelly stan. I found out about her on YouTube. She did that suit and tie cover.
Yeah,
Man, blew my socks off.
she's
She's
so good.
nuts.
Do you know she tried out for American Idol? Do you know that story?
Yes, and
And
I don't. How?
Simon,
How?
like your voice is annoying. You're not making it.
Well, she proved him wrong for sure.
Yeah, which really goes to prove that, like, yeah, there are experts in the industry, but they don't know everything.
True.
If someone says no to you, it's not a definite no. Prove them wrong.
Yeah, like Ali Slater here. Prove him
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
There you go.
I don't know
Well.
who I'm proving wrong yet. I've only heard good things. But I hope I hear a no soon so I can prove them wrong.
There you go. There you go. I feel that. That's kind of the ethos of the channel here is just
Well,
keep
that's
pushing.
what I've been saying to people. Like I just recently started getting some hate comments, which obviously is not nice to see.
Yeah, well,
But
I was gonna say
that's
welcome to the club.
good. If you're not getting hate comments, that means you're not reaching enough people.
You're right.
So I was like waiting for my first hate comment. Who's gonna say it? What's it gonna say?
Oh yeah.
I was expecting it to be some like gatekeeping type shit, like this young Gen Z. I'm like, I'm not Gen Z, but thank you for the
But
compliment.
yes.
I'm older than that.
Yeah. I feel that on an emotional level.
But yes, it was a very they've been pretty gatekeepy, these comments, and
Oh,
like
that's
pitting
right.
like women
Yeah.
rock artists against other women rock artists.
Gonna crush it.
Oh yeah,
Crush
it's
it.
all right. All right, it's fine. More hate means I'm reaching more people.
The saying is, haters make me famous. So
Yeah, that's true. Bring them on.
I mean, people want to say nice things too. That's great too.
Sure.
But
But you don't make it in the industry unless someone's sending you a death threat.
well, I hope that actually does not happen because that would
I'm
suck.
just making a bad joke.
I wouldn't want to wish that on you. So.
No, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Oh my god! But
There's some mean people out there who do that.
there certainly are. There certainly are. But the next question, Allie, we've been talking about this fantastic artist, Ali Slater.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, as you being Ali Slater,
Yeah.
for people who have been fans for a while or are new fans and they just happen to stumble upon this video, which thank you very much. But new fans, what song would you recommend a new fan to listen to kind of get an idea of you?
That's a good question. So with the EP I just really you're welcome. With the EP I just released, it was very experimental for me because each song, though in kind of in the same genre, is so different.
I would agree.
Yeah, each song is very different. It has its own vibe. Lyrically, men suck. That's kind of the message of a lot of them.
As you're saying this to me, I'm like,
I'm sorry, but it's not all men, but like
I understand. I know. I didn't want to. I was more of a joke.
the men that I've come across romantically, horrible.
Fair enough. That's par for the course.
But to answer your question, let me like go into it song by song. Kiss in the Rain, devastatingly beautiful, pretty dark, sounds like a happy song, is not a happy song.
I would agree.
Without You, it's kind of a heavier, it's in 6/8 time, so it's a little different, and it's an angry song. This is a big fuck you to men song. Over It, it's your pop punk song with Jackie Vincent. It's lyrically very funny. I think I'm the first person ever to say clitoris in a song.
I think you might be. You're definitely. I've never heard that. So
I thought I'd be a little revolutionary.
Thumbs up.
Marketing, say clitoris in a song. So there's that very literal gimmicky part of that song. It's pretty like comically tragic, that one. Ring Shopping, a little heavier. I'd say Matt Squire, the way he described it, he's like, this is like your emo dangerous woman.
Okay.
So it's a little heavier, but still poppy. Do a bunch of riffs in there and a little heavier. And then Lucid is like the hyper pop banger. Like Lucid, I do love Lucid. It was really fun to write and really fun to sing. Um, and has a bunch of electronic elements in it, also a bunch of rock elements, obviously, but it's a really fun one. Still, I mean, something I've said in another interview is like, if you listen to my music and you'll say like, wow, this is such a happy and exciting song, like you were just listening to the music, you were not listening to the lyrics. Those sounds happy and super fun, there is going to be some like tragic element behind it.
Fair enough.
So hopefully with that little breakdown, you can make the decision for yourself.
Wow. All right. I feel like Allie's saying that as like a way to not tell you what her favorite song is collectively.
All right, my favorite for sure is Lucid.
Okay.
I have a bias towards Lucid. I think it's so fun.
I would agree. It is a very fun pop like rock track. Can vibe with it. I'm excited to check out. The only two I think I didn't listen to were Ring Shopping and Without You. So two of the
listen to two of my songs before the interview. I'm
gonna get called. I'm gonna get so.
I'm totally kidding. The fact that you listen to one is enough. Thank you.
No problem. I feel like I was like, man, we're really cutting it down to the wire. And I was like, it was 9 o'clock, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to. I gotta stop here. You know, I'd love to continue to.
You listen to the important ones. You listen to some good ones.
Thank you. Well,
but definitely check out the other two whenever you get a chance.
I will. We'll probably listen to it collectively after this interview's over with, great. And then I will give you. You will see my honest reaction to.
Perfect.
To so.
Love that live reaction.
There we go. Maybe I'll probably leave it at the end of this video. Why not? Why not? But I don't know. It's tough because like I don't want to make a decision of my favorite personally thus far because I haven't listened to all of it, and I feel like as an old head
of the three, it is hard because they're so different.
They're all different. Yeah,
they're different.
I think I vibe the most with "Kiss in the Rain." I think that one, you know, as the kids say, hits different, you know.
It does, yeah.
That one was very cool. I think the thing that really struck me about like all of the music videos you've done thus far, like, you know, Kiss in the Rain and Over It, like something I noticed a lot, and I don't know if this is intentional, so I'm gonna pull it up here. I see a lot of reds and blacks in your music videos. Is this something that was like intentional, or I'm just curious?
Those are my two favorite colors. I don't know if you could tell. I do like some red and I do like some black. Intentional, I feel the most comfortable in these colors, I think.
Okay.
I don't have a video for Lucid. I have lyric videos for Lucid and Ring Shopping.
Sure,
but
yeah.
if you look at the album art for Lucid, it's like a lot of electronic pinks and purples and red. So it's a lot like more neon, and it has like a little like aqua in there. So though I do love reds and blacks, I think just because Lucid has so many electronic elements to it, like everything I do is so intentional. So like I'd want to incorporate some more of those bright neons, but nothing happy. That's not on brand for me. I do love the reds and blacks, like with what I wear and how I present myself.
Yes.
But like I do want to start venturing. Well, those colors were also in Kiss in the Rain with like the motel sign.
Correct. Yeah.
It's all kind of in there, but red and black are my two favorites.
Okay, that's I thought there was maybe some like
there's a little
bias there, but I mean as you have red hair and you are wearing black,
I'm wearing black.
So,
I feel the most comfortable in these two colors.
That's totally fair. I thought maybe it might have had some sort of correlation to the music aspect of things because
maybe, if you had to pick a color to represent emo, what would it be?
I mean, you're not wrong. It's definitely black is definitely the answer.
Yeah,
for sure.
So while it's on brand for the genre, it's also just I love wearing black. It's been that way since I was little. I've always loved wearing black.
Ali is on brand for emo. That's what I think you put in your sign.
I was born emo, but I didn't have my emo awakening until 2017.
That is so wild.
I went a very long time without being.
Well, anyway, Ali, you did allude to this question, but I'm curious if you might answer it a little differently. You
Okay.
did mention a cover song, but if there was another song you would like to cover beyond the one that you mentioned, what would it be?
So I think it would be too on the nose to cover other rock songs or like against the current songs because those are
Fair
already
enough.
done so beautifully and they're already rock songs. What I'm venturing into, this is like a real plan. I'm actually going to be taking a lot of those. Again, I've been living in nostalgia. I'm going to be taking a lot of those electronic songs from my electronic phase and making them rock songs
Oh, very cool.
because I think a lot of them do have. When I was listening to them, they were always just kind of missing something. You know, they have gorgeous, gorgeous melodies, and they build up. They obviously have that build up, and then the drop is just so lackluster in a lot of ways. And like, imagine if there's like a rock band in there.
Ooh,
It would be so cool. The melodies, you can't deny that in a lot of in the electronic genre, the melodies and the harmonies are gorgeous and they're structured so well.
yeah.
It's just there's always been something missing to me. So once I mean, the projects I'm working on right now, I'm working on a lot, but covers are next.
Sure.
And I'm gonna potentially be doing like electronic goes emo kind of album or
Ooh,
something.
all right, all right, all
There's
right.
so many beautiful songs out there that just aren't doing it for me, so I'm gonna make it do it for me.
That, that's quite a way to word it, but
Thank you.
oh, that's great. Well,
So
guys,
songs, or actually, and the JoJo song. I would
oh, you
love to
got it.
Leave, Get Out is the one that I've been singing the most. Listen
That's
to the remastered versions, the 2018 versions she did. They're so good. Her vocals have obviously since whenever the first one came out, what like 2008, have
yeah.
vastly improved as she's matured into adulthood. Like you can hear the difference in her vocals, and it's crazy. I was
She
actually
sounds
gonna
like
post on one of the live streams I did. Wow, I think around the weekend that Lucid came out, I did a cover live. I was maybe going to post a clip of it from the live stream. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll get a little preview.
who knows. But guys, if you have some covers for Ali that you would love to hear from her, you should
Send them
drop
my
them in
way
the comment. You drop them in the comments.
in the
Let her know.
comments, and my comments are also
Eh,
open
And her comments,
to boost my engagement as well.
both. Just
So
Instagram DM her. I'd love for you to cover this song. So we would love to hear your suggestions. More specifically, Ali would like to hear your suggestions, and
open to
maybe you may or may not see a cover song from her. So
no, you definitely will. It's just a matter of when.
fair enough.
I'm also open to Disney songs. I love Disney. I'm a funny tangent. My friend goes to me when like I first started the whole Ali brand. She's like, you know, there are those Disney adults and there are those Hot Topic adults, and she's like, you're fucking both. You're both.
I mean,
You know what?
I don't
Yeah,
think you're wrong. I feel like I
yeah.
don't want to. I want to jump the gun, but
No, I'm not like one of the weird Disney adults. I just love. I want to go by myself. I have a deep appreciation for nostalgia in these dark times.
fair enough. Fair enough. As I stare at my vastly growing Pokemon collection. But anyway,
Oh, I love Pokemon.
next question, Allie. A fun one. I'm sure you are a foodie, much like I am. So, what is your favorite food to eat?
Oh my goodness. It's been so. My food journey is also a little weird. Fun fact, not so fun fact about me. I've had some like really severe allergies since I was born.
Oh, that's terrible.
So navigating food has been quite a struggle throughout my life because they're like pretty big ones, like you know dairy.
Yeah, I feel that one.
So it's not like a lactose intolerance. It's like I have a severe allergy to this. Like I've ended up in the hospital a few times.
Oh my god.
Like it's anaphylaxis. I carry my EpiPen. I'm a freak. I know.
No, that's I'll tell the story after you're done.
I hate talking about it because I feel like such a freak when I talk about I'm allergic to.
I'll make you feel a little bit better after you tell your side, and then
For years and years and years, I loved sushi. It was New York State sent me a letter in the mail saying my mercury levels were too high, stop eating fish, and I did not. But last year, I had a huge reaction after I ate sushi and ended up in the hospital. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
No.
There had to have been milk in this fish. There's no way.
Try this sushi roll infused with milk.
I'm like,
Sorry.
it has to be a dairy thing. It has to be something else. I tried it again a few weeks later, ended up reacting. So I went back to my allergist. I'm like, I think there's a fish problem now. And took my levels. My allergy to whitefish is worse than my dairy allergy. So while I still can have tuna and salmon, it's the cross contamination that's the problem.
Oh my
So
god.
I haven't had sushi in over a year.
Oh.
I miss it dearly. I've switched to. I mean, it's probably for the best. My blood is
Yeah,
probably
sure.
a lot
Yeah.
happier.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Probably a lot happier with
Whew.
me. Um, in terms of what I'm eating now, it's been really difficult. I don't know. I've been so bad at eating. I eat salads. I eat Italian food without cheese and milk, obviously.
Oof. Big
It's
hurt.
hard to navigate food for me, but I stick to my salads. Those are solid. It's such a boring answer, but I'm
Well,
trying to
after you said this story about dairy and sushi, I mean, I feel like the obvious choice is to pick something boring, you know? Like
yeah, kind of have to, just to survive.
that's fair. I'll give my story so you don't feel
Yes.
as terrible. Uh I on my 21st birthday, I went out with my dad and my cousin to go to the bar and we had a few beers and went back to where I was living with my parents at the time. Went back to my parents. My mom's a nurse, and my mom's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Oh, thanks for telling me on my birthday what the hell's wrong with me." I was like, "That I really appreciate that, Mom." And she was like, "No. You have to go. You have to go look in the bathroom." So I went in the bathroom, and I was about as red as your hair. I was like, my throat was all like scratchy and like itchy, and it felt weird. And I was like, no. I was like, what's going on here? And then my mom was like, take two Benadryls and like go lay down on the couch. Took the two Benadryls out like a light. Yeah. And my sister came home and was like, man, why are you asleep on your 21st birthday? You like fucking idiot. Like, and she starts shaking me.
You're drinking.
Yeah.
Now.
So she starts shaking me, and my mom hears my like limp body just like flailing around. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, he's asleep. Why? Like, he's not enjoying his 21st birthday." And then she told her the whole story, and she was like, "Oh my god! Like, I've been just shaking this. I've been shaking him around." And apparently that's what this, I don't know because I was knocked out obviously.
Yeah.
And then I went to my physician, and my physician was like, okay, so you're Asian obviously. And he said, you deal with this thing that a lot of Asian people deal with, which is called Asian glow. And
Yeah.
apparently you have it very bad. So he's like, I would suggest not drinking ever, like, period.
Yeah, that happened to one of my best friends. I think she called it Asian flush.
Well, it is Asian flush. I just call it Asian glow because I feel like, like
Yeah,
more like, fancy.
I love that. I love that for you.
Oh, thank you. Asian glow,
Yeah, she couldn't drink beer for like a year that we were friends. She's drinking now, but like she would get so red.
Yeah. So he was like, don't do it. He's like, and I said, well, I could take Pepsid. And he was like, have you ever had a hangover before? And I was like, no, I have not, obviously, because that was the first time I drank. And he was like,
oh, that was the first time you drank?
It was the first time I drank ever. So
me too at 21.
First and last.
That's fair.
So he was like, you could take Pepsid, and but he's like, you've never had a hangover before, so imagine a hangover times 2. And I was like, so what's like, what's the level of that? And he's like,
you never had one. How are you supposed to know what times 2 is?
I know. Well, so then I asked my friends that were all of the same age, and they're like, yeah, I don't, that no. He's like, and I've seen people hungover before, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably good that I didn't do that, So
probably
to health.
Yeah.
So there we go. That is my story to make you feel a little less,
Thank you.
terrible.
We all have our shit.
Yes, always fun to figure out.
Always fun. And there's a new thing just all the time. There's
And
always
also, I also kind of in the same lane. I realized that my dairy tolerance level is not great, so I
What?
like don't eat. I do eat some dairy, but I don't go like hard.
Isn't it bad for you? I mean, I've never paid much attention to it because I've never had to. But
Fair
I feel
enough.
like the hormones in dairy isn't good for you or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a big almond milk fan, so you know.
Well, I'm allergic to almonds, so I'm a big soy milk girl or rice milk girl.
Ooh,
I
rice jug. All right.
when I was a child, like an infant, I tested positive for so many allergies. Like it's not nearly as bad as it was, but I'm a sensitive human being.
That's why you write the music you write.
It is.
You really
It's
tap it.
so emo of me to have so many
So
allergies.
so emo. And honestly, I feel like without you is just about your allergies and how you're like, pissed off that you can't eat these things.
I can't eat these
Can't
things.
eat these things. Now I
Yeah, and
know.
the lyrics are so good without you. So I guess I'm healthier without them. It works. And shit men, they fall in the same category.
Yeah, just imagine if this shit man has like, like milk and he's a man. Boom.
He is a
Terrible.
walking allergy. I'm allergic to assholes.
Listen, respect. Game respects game. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Ali, moving on to more lighter topics here.
Music and stuff.
Music stuff. If you were to pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest feature or a producer you'd like to work with in the future, who would you love to work with?
Well, I'm already working with my dream producer. So
Matt
we're
Squire, shout out.
Yeah, ugh, love him. So we're gonna producer on set. I've actually put a lot of thought into this. If I had to write, there are a couple people I'd love to write with.
Sure, shout them
And
out.
I've mentioned a couple of them already, but Austin Knight from Water Parks, I think the imagery he uses is gorgeous, and I'd love to learn some writing tips from him. Andy Biersack, not only is he great to look at, but he's a wonderful lyricist.
I'm gonna let you do that.
No, again, he's the one who kind of got me back into music and writing.
Fair enough, yeah.
So he really is the inspiration behind, the whole Ali Slater band.
Sure.
And everything. If it weren't for so cheesy and like, oh, I love him. Really, like if I hadn't discovered Black Veil Bride's music and really done some homework on his lyrics, we wouldn't be here right now. So huge shout out to Andy Biersack for making this interview happen.
Thank you, Andy.
So yeah, those are two musicians I'd love to write with. Those are my top two for sure. In the community. Get in a room with Lady Gaga and write with her. Oh. And just sing with her and learn from her. Even just on a human level.
Oh.
Just everything she's gone through. Because like we kind of have similar stories, though I didn't go to a Catholic school. We both grew up in New York City, heavily bullied, found escape in music. We even played at the same club, The Bitter End.
Oh, very cool.
I saw a lot of myself in her growing up, and now we're in two very different genres, but still I take a lot of inspiration from her. So yeah, I'd say Gaga, Andy, and Austin are my top three.
That would be very cool. Obviously, we love to shoot for the stars here at Audio Addiction. So Lady Gaga, listen, I know you watch my content.
If I could play with Against the Current though, that'd be sick. Ooh. Like I would love to open up for them on a tour or something. I would love that.
I would also love that for you. That would be fantastic.
I think it would be a cool set list, no? Like we're both the same vibe. We love female powerhouses. I think it would be
slam dunk.
Yeah, I'm available.
The DMs are open. But
they are.
I do like your choices, guys. If you've been on the channel for a long time, this is the time where I like to shout out Twitter. So if you follow Ali, you just @Ali on Twitter. as well as, insert whoever you want. My personal choice, Lady Gaga. So if you want to at Lady Gaga and then type in collab question mark, I'm not a legal scholar, but I would say that's pretty close to a legally binding contract.
It's in writing.
It is in writing on
And
the
it's
internet.
on the internet. It must be true.
I'm just saying. It's just putting that manifestation. So we'll leave that.
Manifest into reality.
We'll just leave that there, So,
Sure.
guys, if you feel so inclined, just I don't have to say any more. In fact, I could say less.
It's already in the universe, but if you want to add a little bit more magic behind it, I won't say no.
Listen, as coming from a half Hot Topic, half Disney adult that believes in magic, the magic of Disney.
Yes. It's in all of us.
It is also in the power of your fingers and in Twitter. So
yeah,
there we go.
I'm not really good at the Bird app, but I can do the Instagram and the TikTok. I always look at Twitter. I don't know how to use it. I do social media marketing for a living. I couldn't tell you how to use Twitter.
I also don't know how to use Twitter, so this is just a shill to get me to have people follow me on Twitter so I can get some more clout.
Twitter, I have no idea how to use it. I will retweet you and have no idea what that means.
Also same. So anyway, Ali, obviously you sing. There's probably a whole host of other instruments that you play. You're learning how to play guitar. I know that's on hiatus for a little bit, but
we're working on it.
If there was another musical instrument you could master, what would it be?
Well, obviously I need to get my ass going on guitar.
Don't worry, I can also help you out because.
Okay, thank you. My guitar is in my bedroom. I'm not learning on. Ooh, she's beautiful.
My baby.
One of the babies. If I had to pick another instrument, I think I'd be shit at it, but I'd love to learn the drums. I think it'd be cool. I'm good with like keeping a rhythm, but like back in college, I was taking. I was obviously taking music theory, but as a co-requisite course, you do ear training, and there was some like rhythmic training in there, and like for the life of me, there were some exercises one of the semesters it was a 3-person class. I was one of 3, so there was no faking it. There was no
you actually had to do it.
And like it was me and 2 other guys, and they were looking at me like, come on. I'm like, you don't understand. This isn't resonating here. Like, help. If you're so annoyed, help me, first of all.
Yeah.
There was like one rhythm. It was like, it's just because I'm so sorry. I'm stuttering.
It's
so
right.
in our books, it was like rhythmically written out notes, which I'm good with melodies, but like we had to tap things out rhythmically, and there was a left hand and a right hand, or like pick one and switch. And I was like, I could only do one hand at a time, and it would take me time to put the 2 together, which is, what drummers do.
Yes.
They were like, it just sounds like Carol of the Bells. Just do. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought. Why couldn't you just say do Carol of the Bells? So if I could improve upon one skill, it would be my rhythmic training.
Fair enough.
I can sight read vocally very well. Make me tap it out.
Good luck.
I'm sinking the ship, and you're all coming with me.
I as a guitar player myself, and over quarantine I picked up bass. I'd also love to play drums. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm a mean air drummer. So in my vehicle, it does take some skill. People think I'm probably having like a seizure in my car, but hey, it is what it is.
Most people do anyways, right? That's how you drive. I don't know. I'm from Manhattan. I don't drive. Yeah.
I would hope not. That would be very concerning.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have to bring my baby in.
The baby. I got you. Listen, if I could go get my cat, I would, but then he would just be meowing to get out of my room.
If I keep giving her TREATS, she's going to be way bigger than she's supposed to be. So,
well, my cat is named Meatball, so
it comes with the name.
Par for the course,
Fun fact about this little girl, I rescued her when I was in college in New Orleans.
Oh, she's cute.
She's got one eye. Can you look at the camera? And the kennel cough. Of course you're about to hear. It's okay, baby. So originally, the shelter, I was in the foster program. She is my first and last foster dog.
Oh, very nice.
The shelter gave her to me for a week. Her name was Flora. I'm like, what black one-eyed street dog from the hoods of New Orleans, why would you give her a fairy name, first of all? Does this girl look like a Flora to you?
I don't think so, no.
She's too badass to be a fairy.
You're right.
Even though fairies are badass, but she's not a Flora. Like, she's not a Flora. So at the time, this was about 2017, right around when I had my emo awakening. My roommate and I looked at her, we're like, she's got one eye, there's potential there. We named her after Fetty Wap. Do you remember Fetty Wap?
Yes, I do. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's great.
Her name is Remy. Her name is Remy after Remy Boys.
That's awesome.
It was cool back then. It is not as cool now.
Good, yeah.
She responds to Remy, so that is the story.
That is
when I told Jack when I introduced her to Jackie, he's like, "Oh, did you name her after like Palais Royale?" I'm like, "I wish." I named her after Remington. It's worse.
It's worse, yeah. Unfortunately, but
it's worse.
My cat just had the name Meatball, and that's how you had to. He's the G, Meatball Tony, my guy. Love the dude. I will go get him after this is over with, so you can see him.
Little play date. I got her. Started fostering her on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
If I have a man,
You got the dog.
I'm gonna have a dog.
I feel that. I adopted Meatball from a shelter. I used to live in New Jersey. I adopted him. I think it was July of 2020. So yes. So I always like to try to get animals from shelters. I mean, that's what
adopt, don't shop. Adopt, don't shop.
100%. That we are adoption stands here.
They need homes.
They do.
And they're a lot cheaper,
Allie and I know what's good. That's what we gotta do.
Homes. Why wouldn't you want to give an animal in need a home? Like I didn't think anyone else was gonna adopt her. Actually, that's why I didn't want her to I I think it was a no-kill shelter, but I didn't want her to spend out her days there. I got her when she was 7.5. So she's an old lady.
She is an old lady.
And I wouldn't change anything.
Well, she's a cutie, so.
Thank you. She's a good girl.
The next question, Allie. We are on an interview. It's all right. We could talk about animals. That'll be podcast number 2. But I did allude to this question a little earlier, so I'm curious how you're going to answer this. I am as I had mentioned earlier, I am a huge video game fan. So I feel like I posed the question to you: if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
That's a good question. Well, not you. How I ask her if she's HUNGRY. I say I
yes.
Did you see her ears?
Yes, her ears. Yeah.
I mean, I don't play video games. I watch them. So I love watching all these YouTubers play video games.
A let's player. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
I watch them for hours. I think I'd be terrible at video games. I'm really good at Mario games. I think I'd be horrible at anything else. So I loved watching the Resi games. I loved Resident Evil 7. I don't think I'd want to be any of those characters. You know what? Fair. You know who I was for Halloween this past year? I was Daniela Dimitrescu. I was one of the Dimitrescu girls.
What? Yeah. That's so sick.
They were hot. And Daniela, she had the red hair. So I'm like, all right, I'll be her.
It's very fitting.
The hot vampire. I mean, that's not a very mainstream answer, a satisfying one. But let's say she's one of them. If I had to actually live in a video game though, I'd live in Undertale.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love Undertale.
Oh, it's so great. Oh,
I would love to hang out with Sans and Papyrus.
Sands and Papyrus.
I'd fuck with
Ooh.
being Undyne. I could be Undyne.
You could.
Bad bitch of where, yeah,
She is.
that whole place.
Big facts.
She's a fish. I'm allergic to her.
That would be very ironic if you were to pick the fish character.
Fish character.
Oh,
That Alphist.
that I.
It's like showing my nerd colors right now.
Oh, that's okay. We let that flag fly strong
Yeah.
and proud here. So, literally, I mean, I literally have my Legend of Zelda photo here. I mean,
Love that.
on a consistent basis. So, you know, my nerd fandom knows no bounds. But
You know what? Last answer for this. I fell in love with Super Mario Galaxy when I was younger playing that.
oh, classic.
I still listen to a lot of the music from it today. Like I have a playlist of just Super Mario Galaxy music. It's so gorgeous, like the Space Junk Galaxy.
Yes.
So, oh, it's so beautiful. So if I could, I would live in the Super Mario Galaxy universe. I'd be Rosalina, and I'd just listen to that music nonstop. So
In
relaxing,
space.
so calming in space. Yeah, for sure. I'd live there.
That. Listen. Kudos, Ali. Kudos.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
That was very, very well executed.
Thank you. I know I
give you the props.
quite a few answers there. But
It's
that's
okay.
not nobody asks me anything like that because I'm not like a gamer, but I watch all the games.
She watches all the games, so
I
just
watch
remember
all
that.
of them. Yes, I watch.
I love that answer. I also resident Nintendo stan. So you know, I have a slight tug in the heart, you know, for
Yeah.
Nintendo games. So I like that answer a lot. You know, as
Yeah, I'm glad.
next question, Ali, you know, obviously we're on here, talk music, you know, all that fun stuff. If you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including yourself, who would be on that tour?
It would be me against the current, Evanescence,
Ooh.
Haley Williams, Paramore, and if we wanted to throw some men in there.
I
I'm
feel
totally
very
I'm totally kidding. I respect the shit out of so many of these men in the industry. I'd throw Black Veil Brides in there.
Oh, all right.
Though Ronnie scares the shit out of me, I would I would love to throw Falling in Reverse in there because he is a musician. He's so good at what he does, and he's a performer. Though he is quite the personality. And I've said this to Jackie too because we talk about it sometimes. Like if I were to ever like get the opportunity to, let's say, open for Falling in Reverse, I'm petrified of that man. I don't want to get on his bad side. I don't want to go anywhere near him, but I respect the shit out of him.
Fair enough.
He's like, let's say you do open for them. You won't see him ever. I'm like, oh, okay. So let's throw Ronnie in there.
I like the tour though. I could definitely get down with that. It feels very much in the, you know, the Ali Slater category.
Water parks also.
Ooh, okay.
I love water parks.
They are fantastic.
So great.
Underrated, I would even care to say, you know.
So good.
But like the tour, guys, you can get tickets for this right now. No,
Yeah,
as much as I'd love for that to be the case, you know, listen, as a resident Haley Williams stan, unfortunately, it's not a thing. Same with Evanescence, you know, Amy Lee, First Love, you know.
Oh, another vocal inspiration, Jessie J.
You know what? That was one that I was thinking of, and I couldn't remember the name, and now it's all.
Here's the connection I made. One of my favorite performances of all time. I just found. It's Amy Lee singing in Japan, "Bring Me to Life." I don't know if you've seen that performance. Have you seen that performance?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so you know the one I'm talking about.
I do.
Iconic. I studied the vocal on that, and amazing. Jessie J also did a performance like that of "My Heart Will Go On" from the Titanic. Every time I watch that performance, I cry. I'm not a crier. I cry. It's unbelievable. It's so good. They're better than Celine Dion. Better than Celine Dion. The
Whoa.
performance was incredible. I study that one too, all the riffs she does. Like, I'm gonna nail it one day. One day. It's so good.
Wow, that was that.
I
What a
know.
take! What a take!
Hot take.
Hot take.
Probably an unpopular opinion. I stand that performance. It's gorgeous.
Guys, you have to go watch that video and let us know. Let us know in the comments. Was Ali right? You know, is she? You
Or
know...
if she's wrong, go tell her to fuck off in the comments.
Please don't do that. But if you know, whatever you do, it's your life.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is mine.
Next question, Ali.
Next answer.
Favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Favorite TV show, favorite movie. It's so hard. That's really hard and very mean.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. There's so many. My interest span over many genres, as you can tell in so many different facets of my life.
Yes, I feel that.
I don't want to pick something bad. You know what? I will say Supernatural might be my favorite TV show.
Very much in the lane, yeah.
I have not watched the series finale because I can't bring myself to.
Fair enough.
I can't close the chapter. I am not emotionally stable enough to close that chapter of my life. Because though it is cliche, like I had it pretty rough in high school. I escaped kind of through that show for a small bit of it because I binge watched it on Netflix, so it was a very small part of it. But I did escape through that show.
Sure, yeah.
And I met Jensen Ackles by accident my senior year of high school. He was the absolute sweetest. We were at the same restaurant with our families, and I introduced my parents to the show. And my mom turns to me and she goes, "It's Dean!" And I go, "Shut up." It's not. And she's like, "No, look right now."
You look over, you're like,
and he waved at me. I go, "Mom, it's Dean." And he came over to us. He was super sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
A group shot, and I'm like, "No, you're not going anywhere. We're taking one alone together." Thought it was funny, but yes, we got a picture together. Very sweet. So Supernatural, favorite show. Let's leave it at that. Favorite movie.
This one seems like a tough one. I can see it. It's written on your face.
It's hard because I love movie series.
Okay. You want to give a series then? Yeah, give a series. Yeah, you got it.
It's definitely this is like the standard answer. Like, you're gonna know what I'm gonna say. Like, I love Harry Potter.
I had a feeling. Just
but I'm also like a huge scary movie fan. So I love the first two Insidious movies. Those were great. Just the two.
Just the two. That's it.
The way it was like kind of brilliantly tied together. Like, you didn't know there were loose ends in the first one until you saw the second. You're like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's really cool how they pulled that together. I like movies that make me think.
Sure.
And like that shock me because like a lot of movies are like super predictable, even when like they're not supposed to be predictable.
Fair
I
enough.
like when things challenge me and surprise me. So
as the music theorist in
I like to be challenged and I like to be surprised and I like people to be smarter than I am, though it's hard to come across that.
Well, I'll never find out because I am a major scaredy cat and I will probably not I choose not to watch scary movies because I'd like to sleep at night. So
no, I love scary movies. I'm a huge James Wan fan. He did the Saw movies, Insidious movies, Conjuring movies, I think the Annabelle movies, the Nun, but that kind of ties in. Whatever. This is a tangent. I'm a huge scary. It's like kind of like Disney. Like, I'm a huge like horror movie fan, but then also fantasy adventure fan.
Well, your answer was Harry Potter originally, so
yeah, so like a fantasy kind of movie, but like horror and fantasy. If I had to pick one Disney movie, I cannot. A thought like Disney adjacent, Anastasia.
Oh,
The because I think it's Fox. It's a Fox movie, right?
I think you're correct.
It's on
Yes.
Fox, but it's on Disney Plus. Talk about a musical awakening from a young
Ooh.
age. You know what? I would love to cover Once Upon a December. Make it a super
Oh,
song.
please.
I think that could be huge and beautiful. I love singing that song.
I would agree. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I also like watching Disney movies. I'm not gonna. I don't think I could even pick a favorite.
Let's do a top five. Let's do top five.
Top five. All right.
Top five.
I'll give my top five. You give your top five, and we'll segue to the next question.
Perfect.
So, in no particular order, I love the Aladdin film. That's a classic for me. That was just so well put together. I really liked Wall-E. That one hits the heartstrings every time.
Mm.
Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
That's a classic. So we're at 3 now.
Yes.
Wow, this is I didn't think this was gonna be hard, but now I'm really starting to think about it.
There are so many.
There are so many. I really like The Incredibles. That was just a great like action, like it was just really well put together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm probably gonna say Finding Nemo.
It's also
That's also a classic,
Yeah.
Allie, what's yours?
All right. Again, really difficult.
This was actually a hard question.
Hard.
No joke. Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great
From a
one.
young age, I aspired to be Aurora, and my favorite Disney villain is Maleficent. Before the whole Angelina Jolie phase, like I've loved Maleficent since a very young age. And also Aurora, she is gorgeous from birth, sings incredibly, gets to sleep through the entire movie, and ends up with the prince. That's fucking goals. I would love to fall asleep for like a few weeks, and I wake up and my husband's there.
You're right.
I've done my work already, and it's not working. We'll just go to sleep and have him appear. So, Sleeping Beauty. I'm opening up my Disney Plus. I know this is cheating.
It's okay.
The Aristocats. I loved watching that.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot that one. That one's great. The music in that's great too. Oh my god.
So good. Woo. So good. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat was great.
Oh.
It was a great song. Oh, you know what breaks my heart every time I watch it? Brother Bear.
Oh no. No. Am I gonna cry on this podcast?
And Phil Collins.
Oh, I had a good one. Oh man, now you're making me think about my answers. I was gonna say Tarzan. You're really making me think of my answers now.
Well, because also Disney, the music in Disney is gorgeous as well.
It is.
Like classic Disney movies.
Underrated.
Highly underrated. How many did I say? 2?
I think we're at 2. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna speed this up. You know what? I would put. No, I'm not gonna put it. It's too new. I would say The Princess Diaries. I would put that in there.
Yes.
I love that movie. I'm looking and I'm not seeing my favorites, which is no good. So we have Sleeping Beauty. What was my second one? Aristocats. Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Let me look at what I was actually watching. So I watch a lot of Disney movies. No, off the top of my head, let's just go with like A Bug's Life.
Ooh, I forgot that one. That's classic too.
Yeah, I'm picking all the oldies. And you know what? I'm gonna go like this. I don't know if this counts, but I don't know if you were a '90s kid, but do you remember all those Disney sing-along song VHS tapes? I'm gonna go off book here.
I do. I grew up on that shit, so yes, I do.
Okay, so my top 2, I'm gonna make it 1 because they're both 30 minutes.
Okay.
So Disneyland Fun and Beach Party.
Ooh, wow. Oh my god.
Am I unlocked?
Yes. A distant memory has been unlocked. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh.
That's when I learned Grim Grin and Ghosts for the first time,
Oh
was
my.
through Disneyland Fun, and they went through the Haunted Mansion. I don't like the Haunted Mansion. That ride is a big part of the Ali brand. Actually, I'm not. It's kind of a secret as of now. I don't think I'm gonna. I'll tell you after the interview. But no, a lot of that goes into my brand, and I went into this into actually learning the history of the song, and then I found like one of my favorite Disney vocalists. His name was, listen to this name, Thurl Ravenscroft. That
He
couldn't be
sounds
more.
like he sounds like he sounds like a Disney villain.
He's a ghost. He's like a ghost in the Haunted Mansion. No, he's like one of the most renowned Disney bass vocalists. So
Oh wow.
like he's actually in the original recording of Grim Grin and Ghosts. He's the bass. He's the deepest for those non-musicians. Sure. Deepest voice. He was also the bass in Heffalumps and Woozles, the original recording for Winnie the Pooh. I was always fascinated by the bass in that song, and that's what led me to learning about the Raven.
Breaking me right now. I just want to let you know my whole childhood is now being like broken apart like the fucking like, oh my god.
Heffalumps and Woozles. Thurl Ravenscroft was in that one.
Oh my god.
And like these are like such a bunch of random fun Disney facts.
But, I'm okay with this. This is wild. Okay.
So Maleficent was like the coolest villain in Disneyland Fun when they went through Grim Grin and Ghosts in the Haunted Mansion. So I did more research. I started picking up things from like a very young age, like different similarities between these movies and different things. So the voice actress of Maleficent is actually the same voice actress of Madame Leota in the ride, the fortune teller. She's also Lady Tremaine in Cinderella.
Oh my god.
So like this is like you can like understand how my ear works from a very young age.
This is insane.
A crazy ear. So I picked up on that and I'm like, okay, these all have to be the same people. Because like I fall in love with sounds so easily. So I found Thurl Ravenscroft, and I forget the name of the woman who played Maleficent, and various others. But that's why Maleficent was always my favorite. I think I was so drawn to her essence and her voice as well.
Sure, yeah.
Leota, she's Lady Tremaine. Like back in the day, I think they didn't have too many resources. Obviously, it was so brand new, and they used people. And Thurl Ravenscroft, what a legend!
What a legend! Oh my god, I listen. I've had some crazy shit explained to me on this channel for the over 6 years that I've been doing this for, and I don't think anyone has gotten quite as close as you have to literally breaking me on camera. I feel like so fucked up now because I'm like, holy shit! Like this is stuff that I grew up. Oh,
yeah. I've been really delving into my nostalgia mode recently, just because it's hard to focus on what's going on now.
This needs to be like a clip in some sort of like TikTok where it's like, you know, like millennial guy finds out about you know some shit. Just I don't know, clip it, whatever. I don't care.
Disney Fun on Music podcast. With emo artist Ali Slater.
Oh yeah, there we go. We gotta get the TikTok rock in there. Yeah. But that took the best turn. I'm just gonna transition it. We're gonna.
I know.
Oh my god! All right, next question, Ali. If you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you to listen to, what album would that be?
Fuck.
It's quite an interesting album.
It's my favorite song. Honestly, that's such a hard question. I should have this shit prepared well in advance.
Oh, it's all right. I feel like that's part of the magic of audio addiction is that it's unprepared, you know?
Yeah, I should have come prepared, but I did not. All right, one record I could take with me. I would love to say, you know, let's say We Stitch These Wounds, Black Veil Brides.
Wow.
Their first one. I mean, I want to do something like Riot or Fever, like these like female-led albums, but those, if I was trapped on a desert island, I want to be improving my skills. So, and
Sure.
I know I can sing those tracks on those albums already really well, and there are some variations I could do, but with a male registered album, like there's so much work I could be doing on my vocals. I could be expanding my lower range, taking it up the octave and doing that, working on my harmonies. There are a bunch I wouldn't be bored.
You would not.
And I'm not a screamer, so I could write melodies for the screams.
You're right. Or you could just be, thinking
Or,
about Andy
you know,
Biersack.
and I could be a screamer. I can learn how to scream. So infinite possibilities. We stitch these wounds on a desert island.
There we go. Ali with the mic drop here. The second to last question, Ali, I've been asking a lot of my current people I've had on to interview this question. I've been really enjoying it, so I'll probably just wind up adding it to the rotation, honestly.
Okay.
But the question is, for people who have made it to the very end of this interview, which God bless you, love you guys. You guys are great. What do you want people to take away from Ali Slater, whether it be from a lyrical perspective, a musical perspective, or kind of a combination of the two? I feel like, especially now, kind of like, hopefully getting out of COVID and like, you'll probably, I imagine you'll start playing shows and like the popularity of your music will start to flourish. What do you want people to take away from you as an artist? Because I feel like at the end of the day, like people come here to listen to your music, but I feel like people stick around because they might like you personally and want to get to know you better.
This is something that I actually have been thinking about a lot since I started this, because obviously for a while I haven't been interviewing, I haven't been putting like a lot of videos about me out there. It's been music, so this has been not only your show, but like the fact that I've been able to introduce myself as a person to people has been, thank you for giving me that platform, first of all. I do want people to get to know me for who I am, because they hear the songs and they see the face and the boobs. I want to, unfortunately, like I've talked about this in another video, another interview, how the industry works. It's pretty transactional. It's all marketing and a brand and an image.
Sure.
And while it's like important to cater to that and it has to be a priority in order to make it, I do want to be known for more than just the way I look. I want to be known for what I have to say and who I am as a person. So main takeaways, like I do write the songs.
Yeah,
I'm writing
awesome.
all of the lyrics. I write all the harmonies. Everything comes from a very real and genuine place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also nice. I'm not that scary. I was told recently that I was pretty intimidating and I laughed.
I don't think you are. So
once you get to, it might be like resting bitch face. I am guilty of that sometimes, but no, I'm nice. I don't bite.
I can confirm she's nice.
I'm pretty down to earth and approachable, and I do want, if there's one thing I want to accomplish with my music and this journey, is I want to give, kind of like what Black Veil Brides did for so many people and still continue to do so, like a safe space for the outcasts. I never fit in anywhere. I could blend. Yeah. As I got older, I could blend in, but I was never happy, and I never really had my people. And I was bullied pretty heavily in high school. And I did find an escape in music and the artists that I listened to. I wish I had the emos earlier. That would have been very helpful.
Sure. I feel that.
That would have been, if there's one thing that I want to do, and I want to be a safe place for people who don't necessarily fit in, and know that like they're not alone with their struggles. Everyone has their shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Give people a safe place.
Listen, I feel the same way. That's kind of, that's kind of the reason that I got even into really being into music. Like I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. And then now look at me, I'm literally interviewing people online doing this stuff. So there are people out there. There are people that care, and there's, and that's, feel free to reach out to me. I'm sure Ali's the same way. We'd love to talk to you and get to know you better and, be friends. I mean, that's the ultimate reason why we like these bands, is because they've meant so much to us. So, I feel like we can all bond over that same camaraderie that we were all, outcasts in some way, and now we're one big family. So
Yeah, one big emo family.
one big emo family. Well, on that note, Ali, tell the people where they can find you on social media. What you have coming up in the foreseeable future. You can talk about the record that you just released recently.
Yeah,
Any
sure.
plugs, things of that nature.
So socials on Instagram, you can find me at Ali Slater Official, ALISLATER Official. I hope you know how to spell that word. Facebook. I'm pretty sure you could just type in Ali Slater on Facebook. I think it's also Ali Slater Official. Twitter, it's Ali Slater, but like Skater Boy, AliSL the number 8R, Ali Slater.
Edge.
Yeah. I am paying homage. Avril Lavigne walked so I could run.
Fair enough.
I definitely would say listen to Lucid. I mean, the most important thing right now is I need to be growing my brand and my following. So I would love for some followers on Instagram. TikTok, I think it's also Ali Slater Official. There's nothing there yet. Nothing great there yet. But that is something I need to be working on and building up. They're just, again, only 24 hours in the day, and only so much I can do with the job and recording.
Yeah.
Listen to Lucid, the entire EP, please and thank you. Coming up, I am going to be doing a release show. I'm getting all of that together, and it's going to be virtual. So anyone can attend. I would appreciate if people came to that. So there will be a release show coming up soon. There have been delays because of travel, COVID, all that stuff, but it is coming. And I am working on my second album. I have no idea when it's going to come out, but all the songs are written. I'm in production, and it's coming. Oh, and maybe I'll put out some covers. We did talk about it. I told you, I have so many projects I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I have my day job. This weekend I think I'm going to be recording from dusk till dawn tomorrow. Just getting all my stuff out. So check out my EP, follow me on socials. You can listen to my EP anywhere. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, some weird apps that I've never heard of. It's everywhere. YouTube, watch the videos. My numbers need more stuff. And I don't know, yeah, just stay tuned and reach out to me. I pretty much talk to everyone. So I'm very approachable and nice, and listen to my music.
And then Ali, what is the album name? I feel like that is just as crucial as obviously doing the plug.
The first one is it's Lucid, Lucid. I should probably explain why it's spelled incorrectly. I've been talking about how smart I am, but I probably look like an idiot Lucid incorrectly. So that is intentional. Really quickly before we sign off, it stands for lighting up, shut it down. So that's the hook of Lucid, lighting up, shut it down. And I mean, the entire message of the album is waking up to your own bullshit, but more importantly, recognizing that you shouldn't be taking shit from other people and being treated incorrectly. So being aware of your own faults, but also knowing your worth.
Amen. I respect that. I want to give a shout out to Audrey. Thank you for setting it up.
Thanks, girl.
She is killing it. So shout outs to Audrey. But if you like Ali, you liked our interview, please go give her a follow, go give her a like. I already subscribed to her on YouTube as a fellow YouTubian.
I will follow you back.
Oh, thank you.
I should check it more often.
I will go follow Ali on all of her social medias. You should too, and if not, go check the links in the description to go follow her. Seriously, she's doing some really good shit, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for her to want to come on and talk about literally a whole multitude of things. So far too much. I went in deep. Ali went in deep. We really exposed ourselves to the internet. So that's great. And it's going to be on there forever. But anyway, to cap this off, guys, if you like the content, you like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. it goes a long way. I hate asking for it, but genuinely, it's the only way for me to get, out to the masses. So please,
Exactly. You have to
please do
ask
that.
for things. How are people going to know if you want them if you don't ask for them?
You stole my line, but
I'm sorry.
100%.
I back you.
Anyway, go check out Ali's stuff. She's awesome, and again, huge thanks to Ali, Ali Slater for Ali for coming on tonight and chatting.
Ali Slater.
Al-
Go check me out. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously though, on a serious note, thank you for having me. This has been a blast. I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else on a Friday night.
Oh, thank you, Ali. Again, go check her out. Guys, we'll be talking soon. Peace.